Welcome to this week's snippet. This is where we get down and dirty on a specific topic. And today's topic, antioxidants and pro-oxidants. I'm Dr. Ben Lynch, and this is Dirty Genes Podcast. Antioxidants, you've heard, you hear about it all the time. You might even be taking them all the time. Now, pro-oxidants, what? Why would I even care about that? Well, if you're taking antioxidants, you do care about pro-oxidants. The question is, are you ever taking pro-oxidants on purpose? Are you undergoing any antioxidant therapies? Are you undergoing any pro-oxidative therapies? And the answer is yes. The question is, when should you use what and why? And when should you avoid one or the other when the other one is trying to actually do something beneficial in your body? So everything is in balance. So before we get going further, it's important to define things, right? So pro-oxidant is not a term you hear every day. And an antioxidant, you know it, but you don't really know what it is. So let's look at some words. Oxidize, to combine or become combined chemically with oxygen. So to oxidize something, you are taking a chemical or a compound and you are attaching oxygen to it. And that addition of oxygen is structurally changing it to become something else. So when you burn coal, sulfur is released into the atmosphere and combines with oxygen and becomes sulfur dioxide. So I'm going to be sharing with you what type of pro-oxidants are in your body that are actually made by your body to do certain different things for your benefit and also to your detriment. A pro-oxidant is a substance that accelerates the oxidation of another substance. So a pro-oxidant is something that will encourage oxygen to bind to something in order to serve a purpose. And you will learn what some of those purposes are. Now, on the flip side, what is an antioxidant? An antioxidant is a substance that inhibits oxidation. Makes sense. A pro-oxidant supports the addition of oxygen to destroy something or to add oxygen to it to ultimately destroy something. An antioxidant is a substance that inhibits oxidation, especially one used to counteract the deterioration of stored food products. So antioxidants are often added to supplements. Rosemary is one that you can naturally add to act as an antioxidant inside of a supplement. You also have antioxidants, vitamin E is another one that you can see added to skincare products. And I want to correct myself a bit too. When you oxidize something, it is not always bad. You're not always destroying something. You also may be sending signals. So I'll be giving some examples on that too. I just wanted to correct myself on that one. So a pro-oxidant isn't bad and an antioxidant isn't good. There are situations where an antioxidant is actually quite bad. You don't want to be taking it at the wrong time. And that's the goal of today's episode, is to give you some awareness of when you should be taking antioxidants, when you shouldn't, and when your doctors say, hey, you need to take a pro-oxidative therapy, they might not use that word, but after listening to this, you're going to know what a pro-oxidative therapy is and realize that if you're doing well from it, good. If you're doing badly from it, well, maybe you need to step back, talk with your healthcare professional and say, hey, I think this pro-oxidative therapy for me is not doing justice because I'm actually feeling terrible and I think I'm low on antioxidants. So you need both. Let me give you an example. So if you're sitting at home and it's wintertime and it's, Thanksgiving or Christmas and you start a fire in the fireplace, that fire in the fireplace is creating some home, comfort and warmth, and you might be roasting some marshmallows or hot dogs on there. Two bad examples for healthy food, but hey, indulge. So, but that's a good type of oxidation, right? It's a nice, warm fire that's providing a service to you. It's cooking some quote unquote food and it's providing a good atmosphere, and it's providing warmth. So oxidation, it's the degree in which it's beneficial, and when it becomes too much, it's not beneficial. Now, another one, exercise. Exercise is a physical stressor. It's a mental stressor too, to go, past your, discomfort and keep going. But exercise is a natural physical stressor that our bodies will go through in order to stimulate our mitochondria to reproduce more mitochondria and reproduce more cells in order for us to go longer and become faster and healthier. Now, that's a good thing. If you lift weights, your muscles will get bigger. If you go for jogs or runs, your mile time might be 8 minutes to start. And after you do it for a year, you might get down to 7. And after another year and a half, you might get down to 6.5 minute mile. Okay. So your body is continually adapting. So that oxidative stress that you're putting your body through exercise is stimulating enzymes specifically called NRF2 and others to help stimulate mitochondrial formation and also cell and tissue repair. And that's why your muscles actually get bigger, because they're repairing themselves. And that's also why you can run faster and longer without feeling winded, because you have more mitochondria densely packed in your tissues. So there's producing and more energy for you. So, and that's why it's also easier to lose weight when you're doing nothing while you're sleeping, because if you're fit, you're able to lose weight while you're sleeping because your mitochondria are able to burn fat. So once you're fit, things are easy. So exercise is fantastic as an oxidative stress in a low level. Now, if you take it to the nth degree, like I did when I was rowing for the Huskies, or you're training for an Ironman or the Spartan race, or, Tough Mudder or whatever these races are called, and you're just overdoing it, that's too much. So what is the purpose of oxidation? Why would you want to have oxidative stress? Because we are taught and we are marketed to all the time by supplement companies and so on that antioxidants are great, but they're not always. And why aren't they? Because oxidation serves purposes. It stimulates your immune system. That's important. It stimulates your blood flow. It helps eliminate bugs, pathogens. It helps eliminate old cells to make room for new ones. It stimulates neurotransmitter activity, and it stimulates tissue and organ and bone repair. So if you did not have any oxidation, you'd have a bunch of dead cells all over you. My face would be like 4 feet thick of dead cells, ew. And my digestive system would be, super funky because I have all sorts of dead cells there that need to go. But the oxidation has chewed them all up and digested them. And my neurotransmitters are being made, but they also need to be eliminated and oxidized and removed. Then my immune system needs to be put on alert to go and fight that illness. But if I don't have any oxidation, or I have reduced ability to sense a pathogen or having an illness, then I can't fight it. And then that illness will take over. Now you're thinking, whatever. No, there's an actual illness that is genetic, where if people are born with a reduced ability to generate oxidative stress or produce pro-oxidants, then they will be having very frequent and chronic illnesses. So that gene is NOx. So NADPH oxidases, or NOx gene, is very, very important for you. And this particular gene's job is to make oxidants. It's a pro-oxidative gene. That's its job. And so my wife, I did her strategy and genetic test, and I've looked at her NOx gene, and she struggles with a very fast response to any type of illness or pathogen. And then it will just go on and on for her, and she'll get sore, joints and bone pains and, and so on. And she'll just get muscle soreness and fatigue. And It's like, wow. So if she gets sick, her immune system attacks it with a vengeance, but it will then also continue to attack her like an autoimmune problem for a long period of time. So then that is too much oxidative stress, right? Yes. So her NOx gene works at a high rate, very fast. My NOx gene is a little lazy. It doesn't work as fast. So if I get sick, I can take a longer time to get rid of whatever illness I have. And interestingly, vitamin A stimulates this particular gene. And I will be discussing the ratio of vitamin A and vitamin D at some point here on the Dirty Genes podcast because it's very, very important. So, common pro-oxidants made by your body. So, what are some actual pro-oxidants made by your own body? Yes, your body makes them. So, there are 6 of them that I know offhand. Superoxide. Superoxide is actually made by your NOx gene, which is what I just discussed. So superoxide is what it produces. And then that superoxide then gets broken down by another gene called superoxide dismutase. And so NOx makes superoxide to fight illnesses and signal your immune system. And then the superoxide dismutase gene takes that superoxide and it breaks it down into hydrogen peroxide. Yeah, did you know your own body makes hydrogen peroxide? It does in actual big amounts. So hydrogen peroxide is made by the superoxide gene, dismutase gene, and it's eliminated by glutathione. And you probably hear me talk about glutathione for a number of years because glutathione is a master antioxidant. Hear that? It's an antioxidant. The job of glutathione, to break down hydrogen peroxide. Yep, one of its jobs. So, and that glutathione that breaks down hydrogen peroxide is created by the glutathione peroxidase gene, the GPX gene. And some individuals have a reduced ability for their GPX enzyme to function. So it's important to know how your glutathione peroxidase gene functions. Your catalase gene also helps you get rid of hydrogen peroxide. Now, nitric oxide is a compound that you probably hear of nitroglycerin given to cardiovascular patients for their heart health. And that's nitroglycerin and Viagra are used to make nitric oxide. So if your nitric oxide synthase genes are dirty or they're not working, then your ability to produce nitric oxide goes down. Your hands get cold, your feet get cold, your blood vessels are not as big, and so you're more likely to be winded, not have as good endurance, and you possibly will have heart issues and higher blood pressures. So nitric oxide is produced to fight illnesses. It's support your brain and neurotransmission, and it's also to support your blood flow. Peroxynitrate is another compound. It's produced from nitric oxide plus superoxide. Now, this stuff is crazy bad. So a combination of nitric oxide plus superoxide becoming peroxynitrate, toxic stuff. Hydroxyl group is also bad. This is where oxygen combines with iron or copper or manganese. So that is why sometimes you will not see copper or manganese or iron in some supplements at Seeing Health, because I know that these are possibly pro-oxidative, and a number of our customers at Seeing Health are already in, pro-oxidative states. So I want to be careful for them that they are taking multivitamins that do not have copper or manganese or iron in them. Something like Optimal Start is one such multivitamin where we don't have that in there. So how many times have you taken iron and you felt worse? Doctor says, "Oh, Sally, your ferritin levels are low." Put you on iron, and what happens? You are in crazy amounts of pain. Why? Because you have huge amounts of pro-oxidants going on and a lot of hydroxyl groups, and you have low levels of antioxidants. So that's happened to my wife. She was given an IV iron one time because her serum ferritin was really low, but my wife also had persistent illness. The last pro-oxidant that I know of offhand is basically hypochlorous acid that is otherwise known as bleach. So your immune system, through your macrophages, makes hypochlorous acid in order to kill stuff. So your immune cells will leach this stuff out of them to go on to some microbes or some pathogens, and it wipes them out. So that's pretty cool. So those are 6 pro-oxidants. They all have different functions. They have good benefits. If you didn't have them, you would have persistent illness and you would have them all the time and you'd be sick all the time and you wouldn't be going anywhere. So again, pro-oxidants are good. Now, common antioxidants made by your body, I know of 4 right away. And these are actually made inside your body. Glutathione, made from your glutathione peroxidase, or used by your glutathione peroxidase genes and synthesized from your glutathione synthase genes. Glutathione is most concentrated in your liver, thank goodness, because that's where a lot of stuff is being cleaned, and your mitochondria. A quick tip, if you notice that suddenly your vision has gotten worse, over the last month or 2, it could be glutathione. Maybe your eyes don't seem as bright or the world doesn't seem as bright to you. Things are a little bit duller. You could have a lower level of glutathione because you have a huge amount of glutathione naturally found in your eyes. You also have a lot of glutathione found in your lungs. Peroxidase is another antioxidant made from your PON1 genes, which you can test for in Stratagene. This is really important for supporting healthy cholesterol. If you have a dirty PON1, then you're probably not going to be synthesizing peroxidase very well. And then you're going to have oxidized cholesterol, which then leads to all sorts of heart issues. Catalase comes from the cat gene, which also helps get rid of hydrogen peroxide. And uric acid, interestingly, uric acid, the same compound that's associated with gout. So if you think uric acid is all bad, you're wrong. And I thought it was all bad, and I was wrong. So but uric acid comes from the xanthine oxidase gene. And get this, uric acid accounts for more than 50% of all antioxidant activity in the human serum. So in your blood, uric acid accounts for half of all antioxidant activity. That's amazing. That is really amazing. So you got to have your uric acid. You just can't have too much. Now, what are the ways your body makes oxidative stress? See how important this is? You have to understand the reasons why your body generates pro-oxidants so you don't just swallow a bunch of antioxidants. You want to know what activities increase oxidative stress. So if you are feeling a bit dull and down and out, you know when you should take your antioxidants. So by the end of this, you're going to have a greater understanding. So there's about 17 ways that I came up with that you can generate oxidative stress in your own body. You break something, you have an injury, and that will cause a signal for your body to repair. And you're not gonna signal repair without pro-oxidants. Pro-oxidants will tell your body, oh, there's danger, there's a problem here, come over here. It's like the ambulance or the police car or this fire truck. It tells the body, hey, we have a problem over here, clean up on aisle 6, come and fix it, please. So injury, exercise. Now, again, you want to exercise mildly and moderately, not excessively. Breathing pollutants. We breathe 11,000 liters of air every single day. So air matters. I would say air first, water second. So in terms of purity. So filter your air. The UV from the sun, very, very damaging on your skin. It can lead to, obviously, problems with your skin, right? So you've got to be careful from the UV. And some say that the higher your antioxidant level in your skin, the less likely you are going to burn. So, take your antioxidants. If you're going to go lay out in the sun, if you're going to the tropics or you live in a very sunny area with high UV, I would be consuming more antioxidants during that time for sure. If you overeat anything, now I'm talking keto. If you think you're keto because you're wolfing down a bunch of exogenous ketones, no, sorry, that's not keto, because you can still have higher insulin levels. You could still be consuming too much protein. Ketogenic diet is done wrong all the time, and that could lead to high pro-oxidative stress, and you got to do it right. So overeating is a big, big, big cause of oxidative stress. So those of you with metabolic dysfunction, imbalanced blood sugars, you got oxidative stress, hands down, and you got to take care of that. Stressed out shrinks your brain. Being stressed out actually shrinks your brain. It burns it up. Your hypothalamus shrinks. Yep. So don't be stressed out. Easy to say. But seriously, being stressed out is very, very pro-oxidative. Being dehydrated. I'm a bit dehydrated now. I've been talking most of my day behind this microphone in front of the camera. So don't be dehydrated. You have a persistent illness, any virus, any infection, any type of bacteria, H. pylori, or imbalanced microbiome will wreak havoc. Why? Because your immune system senses these things and mounts a pro-oxidative attack on them. So any type of pathogen or bad bacteria or virus in your system is going to trigger your immune system to go fight, and it's going to go fight using oxygen and adding it to certain compounds to make pro-oxidants, and you're going to be fighting these pathogens and these bad bugs with hyperchlorous acid, with superoxide, with peroxynitrate, and you're going to kill them, but you better kill them and get on with it and get over it, because if you keep doing it, you're going to be damaging your own tissues. And that's where autoimmunity comes into play. If you undereat, lack of nutrition, lack of macronutrients. So if you're not eating properly and you're malnourished, you're going to have oxidative stress. Chemical exposure, especially mold, heavy metals, EMF, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, formaldehyde. Yes, all these things contribute to oxidative stress. Your cytochrome P450 genes, your primary phase 1 detoxification genes, they metabolize basically every single medication almost on the planet. Every time you're engaging your cytochrome P450 genes to function, to detoxify something, they are producing hydrogen peroxide, a pro-oxidant. So if you are detoxing because you are told to detox by your doctor or some health coach or yourself or some Facebook group, and you feel worse, you might be pushing your phase 1 oxidative stress detoxification pathway too hard, and you don't have enough glutathione on board to neutralize the hydrogen peroxide generated by your detoxification system. Interesting. Medications, Tylenol, it depletes your glutathione in one dose. So if you're taking your Tylenol, you are eliminating your antioxidant system, one of them, a key component of it, and you are producing a pro-oxidative system. Vaccines, why? Because they increase your immune system in a big way. So vaccines unnaturally stimulate your immune system with adjuvants, which are compounds designed to tell your immune system to get up, wake up, and go fight emergencies all over the place. And that is why vaccines make antibodies so effectively, is because your immune system gets on high-powered overdrive. You're eating foods that you're intolerant to, which drives up your immune system and creates oxidative stress. You have persistent fatigue. Why does that cause oxidative stress and cause issues? Because your mitochondria are not burning oxygen to make energy, right? If you have persistent fatigue, that means your mitochondria are not making energy for you. Your mitochondria are using the oxygen to make oxidative stress compounds. Thinking causes oxidative stress and pro-oxidants. What? Yes, your dopamine, your serotonin, your norepinephrine, your epinephrine, they all get broken down by enzymes called monoamine oxidases. Hear that? Monoamine oxidases. And these particular enzymes generate a lot of hydrogen peroxide. So the more you think, the more you use your brain, the more stressed out you are, the more you have the ability to make these neurotransmitters, the more oxidative stress you have in your brain. So the more you think, the more you study, the more you fret, the more oxidative stress you have in your brain because you're breaking down these neurotransmitters through these genes called monoamine oxidases, and they release hydrogen peroxide and ammonia. How do I measure my oxidative stress? So how can you apply this knowledge right now? Scratch yourself. Take your arm, take your other hand, and scratch yourself. Now, if you've got red streaks, or you can write your name, and I could write Ben on my arm, or MTHFR or folic acid sucks with my fingernail on my arm, and you could read it, that would mean I'm having high histamine levels. And histamine stimulates your immune system. It also helps regulate your immune system. The fact of the matter is, if you have that much histamine and you can scratch on your arm, dermatographia, it's called, then you probably have a lot of oxidative stress going on and you have low levels of antioxidants. Fatigue, big one, but general, right? Fatigue. Come on, everybody gets tired, but maybe by 2:00, you have general fatigue because, your body is more pro-oxidative than antioxidative, if that's even a word. But think about it. If you're thinking all the time and you've been stressed out at work, you've been exposed to chemicals from the printer and from the off-gassing at the carpet in the office, and you snorted down some exhaust in the car that you were following on the way to in traffic on the way to work. These are all things that predispose you to oxidative stress, which then predispose you to being a little less focused, but also more tired at work. So these are issues. Headaches. If you have frequent headaches, then your body's ability to burn sugar and glucose in your brain is reduced, and your mitochondria are not generating enough energy. So being dehydrated is also a huge issue. So you can pinch your skin. I don't have this on my list, but you can pinch your skin, and how fast does it retract? So my skin just bounces right back. I'm trying to get my hand out of the way here. But yeah, it goes pretty darn quick. So if your skin goes down pretty slowly, then you're dehydrated. If you work out, or you go for a walk, or you go up and down stairs at work, or what have you, and God, you know what? That night and the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day, you're just sore as all get out. You've trashed your antioxidant level. They're gone. So if you work out and you consistently have sore muscles for days, then that's a problem. Now, look, I get it. If you haven't worked out in a long time and you go lift weights and so on, you're going to be sore. But if you're continually working out and you're continually having sore muscles for days to the point where it's becoming problematic and you have to take things like, aspirin or whatever you take, then, that's an issue. You are working out too much. So what my wife does now, because she has that NOx gene, remember that we talked about? So she is super sensitive to exercise. So if she exercises too hard, or not even that hard, she makes a lot of superoxide. And then she has an inability to get rid of that superoxide because her glutathione genes are not so good. So what we've learned is prior to her doing exercise, she needs to take PQQ. If she takes a PQQ lozenge by Seeking Health prior to going on a hike with me and Victor, our dog, or doing yoga, or going swimming, or going biking, or going kayaking for a period of time, if she takes PQQ, she does not get post-workout soreness. If she forgets, it's game over for a week. So by supplementing with a PQQ lozenge, it's going to be a game changer for you. And I invite you to try it because for my wife, it's been phenomenal. I don't take it because I want the oxidative stress that I get from exercise, because some oxidative stress is good, as we talked about earlier, to stimulate more mitochondria, but my wife has too much. So we need to knock it down a bit. your eyes. Now, I've got my blue blocking glasses from Blue Blocks that I really enjoy, and they're kind of geeky looking, but I tell you, since I've been wearing these, I keep them in my office. So this is a prescription pair. I keep these in my office every day. They live in here. And I have another pair right by my bed that are the amber lenses. And I used to work I work all day behind a screen. That's just how it is. That's my job. So, but I will read stuff off a screen, which is high blue light. Even though I have a blue light filter on my screen, it's not good enough. I'm still feeling it. And I would get tired within a couple hours. Now with these Blue Blocks glasses, I can sit there and I can work for hours without even moving. Or I stand here and work for hours. And it's been a massive game changer. So I invite you to get some Blue Blocks. You can use code BEN15 to save 15% off at blueblocks.com, BLUBLOX, I believe, .com, and get yourself a pair. My whole family has got them. Our youngest Theo uses them a lot, and our middle boy, Matthew, Nadia, she falls asleep too fast when she wears them because they increase melatonin very quickly. And our oldest son, well, he's just too tough. He doesn't use them. So, lab markers. Let's say you want to get some science. You want to see how your pro-oxidative stress is, and you want to see your antioxidant levels. You can. I try to minimize the amount of lab testing that you have to do because it's expensive, right? And it's a pain. You have to get stabbed, you have to drive, you have to make an appointment, and you have to start taking supplements, you have to stop taking supplements. It all depends. And then you wait, and then you finally get your results back. So anyway, but lab testing does have its place. So to keep it simple and try to keep it affordable, I've got some easy ones here for you that you can get everywhere for the most part. I have 10 of them. GGT, gamma glutamyl transferase. Say that 10 times fast. If this is elevated, you have low glutathione levels most likely, and it is a first sign of fatty liver. If your GGT is elevated, that is a sign that there's some oxidative stress going on, and you need to figure out what the source is. It could be bugs, it could be too much exercise, it could be alcohol, it could be chemicals. Whatever it is, it's something that your liver isn't happy and your glutathione levels are problematic and you need to get it going again. It could be pesticide exposures, low antioxidant levels in general. So, but GGT is super cheap. Again, that's G as in go. So go Tom, GGT. And then you can do ALT and AST, and these are liver enzymes. So your liver enzymes get high because they're working on something to get rid of something toxic to your body. So your genes make enzymes. And if there's a problem, then your genes are stimulated to make more enzymes to get rid of that problem. So if you do a lab test and you see that your genes have made all these enzymes, then you know these genes have been working double time to help you get rid of all these problems. If your enzymes are in the normal range, then you know your genes aren't working very hard to make more of these enzymes. Why? Because they don't have to work very hard. Remember, your genes work when they have to work. 8-hydroxydeoxyguanosine. This is a marker of DNA damage. 8-hydroxydeoxyguanosine. Vitamin D. Vitamin D, yes, it really helps calm your immune system. So you got to make sure your vitamin D is good. HSCRP is another thing that you can do for testing. It's highly sensitive C-reactive protein. Very cheap, it should be. HSCRP, it's kind of a general marker, as all of these are really. So you don't really know where the problem is, but with some good health professionals and some sleuthing and thinking about where, all the things that I showed you, remember those 17 sources of oxidative stress? You can go through that list. Blood glucose. You can do a simple finger stick. Fasting is also good. First thing in the morning, you do a fasting blood glucose. If it's 100 or 105 or 110 fasting, too high. Get to work. You gotta lower that sucker. HbA1c, insulin, and uric acid, all pretty inexpensive and easy to order. Antioxidants that can become pro-oxidants. But there are 4 antioxidants that I know of offhand that can become pro-oxidants. So if you are saying, Ben, I took some of these antioxidants and I feel worse. Why? They're an antioxidant. Well, yeah, they are, but they can actually become pro-oxidative. Vitamin C, classic. Vitamin C is an antioxidant, yes, in low amounts. In high amounts, it's pro-oxidative. It's damaging to tissues. It will kill things. So doctors will use high-dose vitamin C for various treatments, and they will use low amounts of vitamin C for various treatments. Vitamin E as well, easily damaged. Vitamin A and selenium can all be oxidized and damaged. Now, does that mean you avoid them? No. It means that you should be mindful if you take these and you feel worse, then maybe you have low glutathione, or maybe you have high levels of oxidative stress from somewhere. Maybe your blood sugar is too high. Maybe you're overtraining, right? Big one. 4 times when you should not want to take antioxidants. When should you not take antioxidants? Generally speaking, unless you're my wife or you are a person who has, a lot of post-workout soreness, prior to working out or exercising, if you're generally healthy, you don't want to take antioxidants because it's that little bit of oxidative stress that you get from when you're exercising or lifting weights or playing sports that allow your mitochondria to reproduce more and for your muscles to get bigger and for your fitness to improve. So you want some oxidative stress prior to working out, unless you have a really, really hard workout or a big training coming up, or you got high intensity interval training or something, and you know it's going to be a grind. Then try some PQQ lozenge prior to working out or immediately after. I'm talking immediately after. When you're using oxidative therapies like ozone, hyperbaric oxygen chambers, IV, NAD, radiation, or chemotherapies, if you are undergoing any of these pro-oxidative therapies with your health professional, antioxidants can destroy the benefit of these pro-oxidative therapies. These pro-oxidative therapies are designed to help eliminate some type of cells in your body that need to go. So IV NAD, hyperbaric oxygen chambers, ozone therapies, chemotherapies, and radiations are all very pro-oxidative, and you do not want to be taking antioxidants during that time. Now, if you are doing these treatments and you feel awful for a long period of time, even after doing them, then you need to talk to your health professional about taking some antioxidants to clean up the fire that was given, because these treatments literally are putting your body on fire. Another time when you don't want to take antioxidants is you want to feel how your body is doing without anything. I love this. I think it's really a key point that it is often not discussed enough. There needs to be times where you just don't supplement. You just don't. Unless you are informed to keep going from your healthcare professional, pull yourself off of all supplements and find out what your baseline is for any given day. And on a weekend could be cool, or on a holiday or a vacation could be great after you fly, because flying is pretty darn toxic. But just feel how it is to not take any supplements. Find out what that baseline is. Now, during a seasonal illness, if you're healthy, you do not want to be taking antioxidants, generally speaking. If you are starting to get sick, your body is going to be mounting an immune response and getting a bunch of reactive oxygen species. If you are getting sick, a common seasonal illness, if you are taking antioxidants at that time in low amounts, you're probably going to be not supporting your immune system very well. Now, if you are taking high amounts of vitamin C, that could be a good thing because high amounts of vitamin C are pro-oxidative. So if you're taking a gram of vitamin C multiple times throughout the day, that amount is going to be pro-oxidative. So that could be beneficial. Talk to your doctor about it. But you want to have your immune system mount an oxidative response so it can kill whatever it needs to kill, because that's whatever is causing your seasonal illness. Now, when do you want to take antioxidants? I can think of 8 times. So there's 8 moments where you want to actually take antioxidants. It's a balancing act. I think you should take some every day. Now, wait a minute, Ben, you just said not to take some every day. That's with supplementation. I'm talking food, okay? So you can get most of your antioxidants from food. Berries are amazing. Every day, I use frozen organic blueberries in my smoothie with the optimal prenatal with pea protein. And that's my breakfast. And sometimes I will, I'll put some goat milk in there. And sometimes I'll use other berries, but frozen blueberries are my usual go-to. And that's where I get a lot of my antioxidants, from those amazing blueberries. Got green tea, time-restricted feeding, intermittent fasting, focused breathing, nature walks. These are all great for helping contribute to the parasympathetic system, which is very restorative and calming. After you've been sick, your body has been burnt to a crisp. Your cells have been roasted. It's been as a war zone. You've dropped bombs all over your body, all over cells. Cells are laying exploded. The cleanup crew is oxidative compounds like hyperchlorous acid and stuff will also clean up, but you also need to get some antioxidants in there to repair the innocent bystanders from that war that just went on. So after you've been sick, you need to be getting some antioxidants in your system. So think back in any moments where you've been sick with anything and you just took forever to get better. Ever. So what do? Take some antioxidants. Try some glutathione. Try some liposomal glutathione. Try some CoQ10. Try some PQQ. And you might feel this burst of energy. Why? Because that oxidative stress just got knocked down and your mitochondria just said, thank you. Because too much oxidative stress on your mitochondria, it's going to prevent them from working and they can't make your energy and you're going to feel tired. And in a war zone, your mitochondria don't work to make energy. They work to make and increase the war zone. So you've got to replenish the glutathione because glutathione is naturally found in the highest amounts inside your mitochondria out of any cell component in your body. So naturally speaking, mitochondria is found the most inside your mitochondria. And after you're sick, that glutathione levels are gone or very, very low, and your mitochondria cannot make energy and you're trashed. So I urge you, after sickness, please take some antioxidants. If you're already low in antioxidants, they have risk factors such as high blood sugar, obesity, heart issues, or pre-existent persistent illness, then you probably need to be taking some antioxidants on a recurring basis while you're working on improving those. After any significantly hard workout or exercise, not a light one. After swimming in a pool with lots of chlorine, as chlorine depletes glutathione, or hot tubs, new carpets, cooking with gas, you're stuck in traffic, shopping for new clothes, home is remodeled, new car, all of these things are known to have higher levels of formaldehyde. And formaldehyde, what do you need? Yep, glutathione. So chemical exposures, take antioxidants, especially glutathione. This is an important point which is not talked about very often, and I want to hit this home for you. Antioxidants have a shelf life in your body. Just because you swallow vitamin C does not mean that vitamin C is just going to keep working wonders. Remember, high amounts of vitamin C are going to predispose you possibly to actual high oxidative stress because vitamin C, by its very nature of how it's built, is an antioxidant, but then it becomes a pro-oxidant because it gets destroyed. After vitamin C does its job of quenching a pro-oxidant, it too becomes damaged. So does vitamin E. that was a lot for antioxidants and pro-oxidants. I knew it was going to be. There is some really, really important information that I've shared with you here. And I encourage you to go to the Seek Health website and read this blog in its entirety if you want to just skim it. My team will do a great job of outlining everything for you. And if you're looking for good antioxidants, you can find them at Seeking Health. But remember, there's a time and there's a place of when you should be taking antioxidants. And there's a time and place when you should be avoiding them. And I hope that clarified things for you. And I hope you understand and respect your body and appreciate it when you are feeling sick and let it go, but then nourish your body after. So that's it for another Dirty Genes episode here on the Dirty Genes podcast. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.